Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are y'all doing? Good morning, good morning. Today is a good day. Each day gets better and better. Each day gets better and better. I'm excited about our topic today. It's gonna require a bit participation from you all. Because I want to show y'all how to utilize some fun with manifesting your desires, your dreams, your goals, and things like that. So, give you examples on how to do it for each of your goals. Those of you that want to participate, I'll give you some ideas on how you can start building the dream in your mind so that you can become a vibrational match to it. And thank you. I appreciate the compliments. I really do. So I hope y'all are doing well this morning. I'm doing well. Good morning, good morning. So what I want us to do, or what I want you all to do if you want to participate, is tell me what your biggest desire is, your deepest heart's desire. And I will use your desire as an example on how you can start becoming a vibrational match to it. Not just through meditation, but other ways that you can do it. Meditation is great, of course, always meditate. But it will also help you with meditation. It will help you with the visualization. It will help you get more and more clear in the meditation, okay? Because the more clear you are in your mind, the more clear you are in the vision, the more you become a vibrational match, okay? So it's kind of like, let me see. The best example, because the example I have in my head, I'm not sure if everybody's experienced that before. So if you're thinking of magnets, right? Have you ever put like magnets that will kind of go together and they will kind of miss each other? Probably because they're not supposed to. They don't attract, right? They're kind of propelling each other. It's usually the same energy, positive, negative, and it don't quite go. So when you're thinking about your frequency, about this is the thing you want, this is the thing that this is you. So it's kind of like you're vibrating and you miss, okay? That's kind of how it happens when you aren't as crystal clear as you can be. When you're crystal clear, then it locks together and it's solid. There's no ifs, ands, ors about it. Okay, to reach internal peace and stability, that is very, it's not a bad thing. But in terms of this exercise, I need something more specific. So whether it's to have a particular type of business, whether it's to have a particular type of relationship, a family, something more specific. Because what does internal peace and stability look like? What is that? What is that? And if you all remember, I'll never forget, I tried to do live on my back porch, and it was messing up, and I had to go in my kitchen and finish the live. And I told y'all about being clear in what it is that you want. You have to know exactly what it is that you want. You have to be clear, okay? So, and then you have to understand why, okay? So internal peace and stability, what is that? What does that look like? What is that? It's very vague, it's very general. Okay, you might be considered, the universe may say, okay, you're stable now and there's peace now. You might have that already. You might already have that internal peace and stability. So think of something very specific. I want y'all to share a goal, a dream, a desire that's very specific, very, very specific, okay? Because when you're trying to meditate, and I'm not trying to get on you, Rachel, but when you're meditating, how do you visualize internal peace and stability? What does that look like? How do you become a vibrational match to that? You have to have a visual. You have to have a vision of that, okay? So debt-free. One of the things, if you've watched the documentary The Secret, and if you read in The Secret, when you want to be debt-free, you don't use the word debt. It is not debt free. Okay, you're going to be prosperous. If you're prosperous, that automatically cancels out the debt, right? So we don't want to use the word debt when you want to be debt free. You don't want to use that word because the universe here is debt. I want debt. No different than when we was reading in the book The Secret the other day. It says the universe doesn't hear I don't want to be late. It hears I want to be late. All right. Now, no, free is not necessarily a negation word, but you want the opposite of that. The opposite of debt is prosperous, wealth. So you want to be prosperous. You want to have prosperity. You want to have wealth. If you have an abundant amount of prosperity and wealth, you don't have debt. Period. Now, what you do with your prosperity and wealth, you know what you want to do. So, so you want to be prosperous. You want to be wealthy. Honestly, Sybil, when I was thinking about this, and I don't know if you want to share this with everybody, so I'm not going to say it, but I was thinking about the goal that you were talking about when we did our private live on Patreon, when we did our meditation and our visualization. When we did the private live and you said what you visualized, one of your deepest desires, that's a perfect example. If you're okay with me using an example, let me know. If not, I'll wait for somebody else to tell me an example of something that you desire. I don't want to use me as an example. I want to be able to use what you all want so that I can give you an example. Okay, so Sybil's giving me permission. Sybil's example is perfect. During our meditation, Sybil's deepest dream and desire, and I know she's passionate about this because I've talked to her one-on-one about it, is to be pregnant and become a mother. Okay, that is something very specific. She is very passionate. She wants to go through the whole pregnancy process. She wants to give birth. She wants to nurture the child. It's a lot of passion. It's a deep desire. I can tell it's a desire of hers. Okay. So I'm talking about something that you passionately desire, deep, deep desire. So for an example, with her wanting to give birth, with her wanting to give birth to a child, I'm going to use that as an example of how she can begin to set that up visually, and how she can start setting herself up to attract that into her life. Okay, so typically you will probably want to start from the relationship. Okay, what kind of relationship do you want? And everybody's preference is their preference. Some people want to have a child, on their own. Sometimes people want to have a child with another person. So I'm going to leave that part out because I'm not sure what she wants. So what she would do, right? In her meditation, we can start from meditation, then I'll get into other tools. She needs to be able to start visioning herself. What does it look like when she takes the pregnancy test and she sees a positive pregnancy test? If she doesn't know what that looks like, go on Google, what does positive pregnancy test look like? And see the picture of a positive pregnancy test. Now you can have a clear visual of what a positive pregnancy test looks like. Okay, so she wants a family. So how does she want that scenario to look like? She wants a family. So she wants a significant other to be there while they're looking at the pregnancy test. What does that look like? They're looking at it. Do they jump up and down? They get excited. So now she knows that she's pregnant, right? And like I said, that's to help with the visualization of meditation. Now I want to go into activities that she can do. Now she can start researching what are creative ways I can let people know I'm pregnant. What's a creative way I would share with my friends and loved ones, maybe family, whoever, people that support you, right? How would I creatively show, let them know that I'm pregnant? She can start getting on Google, getting on Pinterest, and start putting stuff together. When she is doing this, she is automatically putting herself in a vibrational match because her mind and her body and her auric field is vibrating as if it's happening. And the law of attraction, also known as the law of vibration, says like attracts like. So you have to be a vibrational match to that which you desire. She is putting herself in a vibrational match. So she's starting to build it. What does this look like? What are ideas? Okay, well, I can do it during Christmas time. And when I give everybody a gift, it could be an ultrasound picture in there. Or, I can do it, no, I didn't see your comments before, Brittany. This is my first time seeing it. I can, set it up on Mother's Day or whatever, however she wants to set it up. Or she could be celebrating her birthday and then she has like a presentation that, oh, okay, I'm pregnant, whatever. Okay, so she gets in the field of that. What does it look like? How will she prepare if she knows she's pregnant? Okay, would she like to find a doctor? What is the doctor that she wants to help deliver her baby? Do research on the doctors. when you're going through this, wouldn't you actually do this if you were pregnant, right? You would actually do that, right? You would become a vibrational match. These are things that you can do. And then when you get into meditation, you start seeing it, because now I've chose, okay, how I want to reveal to my family and friends that I'm pregnant. So in my meditation, I can see how that goes. If it's a party, I see how the party goes. She might want to do a gender reveal. Then she'll have a gender reveal party, or however she wants to do gender reveal. Do we want to shoot the little cannon things? Do we want to cut a cake? She can plan it, do research in your daytime, in your free time, when you're not meditating. And then when you go into meditation, you can get more clear and more clear and more clear about the vision. It gets more clear. You see the chronological order of things, and you see how it all lines up. She also may decide that she wants to start shopping. Okay, let's just say she wants a girl. She can start manifesting that too. She can manifest that. Okay, I'm shopping for girls' clothes. How would I make the nursery look? What are girls' names that I will come up with? She is getting into the field, and she's becoming a vibrational match, and it makes her feel good. It doesn't matter what's going on in her life right now, because her thoughts, her vibration is creating the life to come, right? It's preparing for it to come, right? So she will get into that. What does she want the birthing experience to be like? Does she want a home birth, a water birth? Does she want a birth in the hospital? And this is to her discretion. There's no judgment. There's no shame. There's nobody telling you how you should do your process. This is what you truly want inside of yourself. What feels right to you, what feels comfortable to you, what you want to do. So she will start doing research with the doctors, birthing centers, hospitals, whatever it is that she wants to do. But start planning it. What does that look like? If I need a new home, I think she mentioned that she wants to move. So in my home, I need to to visualize my new home needs to have enough space for my child. Okay, if I want my child here, what kind of space do I want? Do I want them to have a room? Do I want them to have a yard? Am I planning on staying here for a long time? Okay, she's going in the process. She's getting in the process of building it and becoming a vibrational match to that which she desires. Okay, so that is one of the ways that you can utilize your time. You can utilize the internet. You have so many resources that you can use to start planning it. Okay, if you are a business owner, how do you want your business to run? What do you want it to look like? Okay, you could do the research. You can have it all planned out. You know what I mean? What is the big vision for it? What are the details? I have so many books. Like, I even just pulled a pad out last night from when I wrote down my business services plans back in 2012, 2013. And it blew my mind, because some of the things I'm doing right now, and I wrote it down then. Some of the things I decided that I didn't want to do, I tried it and I decided I didn't want to do. And then I left space for me to continue to write more things. So I went in and wrote in the stuff that I have done that I didn't write down, that I'm doing right now, such as the spiritual baths, such as the zodiac combination oils and mists that I'm going to start making. And the stuff, I had it written down. I did the research. It was already there, right? So I had already started building it. And when you meditate every day, instead of consuming yourself with negative thoughts and stuff like that, you consume your thoughts with this vision. You become obsessed with it. That's what Bob Proctor talked about in The Secret, about your focus, your thoughts focus. If you're spending all your time researching, doing this, all you're doing is focusing on that. You don't have time to think about anything else besides what you're manifesting. You're doing the research for it. You're going to sleep with it on your mind. You're putting it together. You're doing research on what kind of crib do I want? What kind of stroller do I want? There's so many details that really can consume your time. It really can. And you're not doing it from an obsessive place. You're not doing it from a controlling place. You're doing it from an excited place. I'm excited. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Birthing books, okay? So you may want to even start reading the birthing books. And obsess in a good way. I just don't want it to be obsessive compulsive, like from a stress place, okay? So yes, you can become infatuated with your desire and goal. Reading the birthing books, okay? You might want to even start planning after the baby comes. Do I want to make my baby food? What kind of machine do I want to use to make the baby food? Let me read reviews. Do I want to breastfeed? If I don't want to breastfeed, what do I want to do? There's no judgment here. However she wants it. I'm bringing this up because a lot of people have very strong opinions about how people should birth their children and feed their children. But whatever she wants, she can visualize however she wants to do it, okay? However she wants to do it. So let me see if anybody else gave an example He has his name and everything for the last 6 years. So you already started the process. So continue the process, Sybil. Continue to process the details. Wow, this is what I went through in my meditation, down to the birth and everything. Being the family, being there with mom, sister, niece. I met your son. Yeah. So the details, as much as possible. Start the process. Start making a list. I have a whole list on what is it, Wayfair, for my mansion. All the down to the dishes. I have cups, dishes, all this stuff. It's going in the cart. It's in my wish list, because my wish list is going to become a list of things I bought. That's what's going to happen. All those little details, all those details from my mega mansion. Actually, it's not just a mansion. I want an estate. For those of you that know, I want an estate. I want a big estate. And I finally decided how many acres I wanted. I want it to be 70 acres. It's going to be a lot of stuff on this estate. My mega mansion, I'm going to have a retreat center for those that are transitioning from incarceration. And I'm going to teach them how to use meditation. I'm going to teach them how to use breathing and teach them these tools that I teach y'all so they can transition back into the world. So I'm going to have a space for that. I'm going to also have a space for them to learn skills so they can learn how to work on cars. I'm going to have a farm so they can learn how to grow food. They can learn certain skills, okay? So I need 70 acres. I need big acreage. I need enough space in my home for family to visit. I need enough space where everybody has their own little cottage on my acres of land, okay? But Infinity Retreats, which is a business I already have, I plan businesses, right? But this is going to actually be the physical location for Infinity Retreats for those transitioning. Particularly, and I know I work with you ladies, but I particularly want to work with the men, because the men need to get strong in this. So when they're coming from incarceration back into the world, they usually call it a halfway house. But mine is called a retreat, okay? So they're going to have a regimen. They're going to be fed. There's going to be an on-site chef that's going to feed them all their meals. And they're going to get up early. We're going to write the goals. What's the goals? What do you want to do when you get back into the world? Or what is it that you desire? Okay, give them support in that. Show them how to use meditation and manifest it. Show them how to use all these tools. Do book readings together. All the stuff we're doing, but doing it in that structured format, right? So that's just a little bit of it. So something very specific. Start planning for it, okay? Planning for it. Another beautiful thing is when you're ready, you're ready. Like, I know when I'm obsessed about something, as Sybil says, I'll give you an example. My prom dress. I got my prom dress made, okay? I went through many magazines and I cut out different parts of different dresses. I could see the vision in my head, and I put it on a piece of paper and I pasted the pieces together. And how I wanted the dress to flow, how I wanted it to be cut. And then I went and found, I went to the paint store and I found the color that I wanted. And then I went and looked for fabric to match the paint color that I wanted, which was like a burnt orange color. And I wanted it like a silk. And I wanted it accented of gold, okay? It had a split that came straight through the middle, and it had a train. It flowed out, it had a train. It was very detailed. And I couldn't find anything like it, but I saw it in my mind, and I pieced the pieces together. When I showed it to the seamstress, she knew exactly what I wanted, and she made the dress exactly the way I needed it to be made. She told me there's the exact kind of undergarment I needed to wear so that it would give me the look that I wanted and everything. Exactly the way I wanted it to be. Okay? But I did the research. I put it together. I allowed myself to energetically align with it. It was no miscommunications. We didn't have to do it. If any altering we had to do, we just had to alter it to fit me. But there was no alterations that needed to happen because it didn't match my vision. I was so crystal clear about my vision that, and I didn't know this, I was in high school. I was so crystal clear about my vision that I became a vibrational match to that which I desired. And then I attracted the person that could align with what it is that I needed, and they was able to produce it, okay? They was able to produce it. And I know some of you are probably like, okay, how? Well, that's not what the secret says. We're going to get into the book, but it says you ask, believe, receive. None of the steps say how. How will line up. And as we continue to read the book on Mondays, join us on Mondays, we're reading The Secret, you will understand deeper how the universe just brings it to you. What you're attracted to will come together. Okay? So I know that y'all are typing. So let me see. So I'm ready to change my diet and how I'm going to change my life period for this baby. Mimi says she needed this. So it could just be me, but I honestly feel like my own body's preparing for this baby. I kid you not, all the changes I'm going through. It is because you're becoming a vibrational match, okay? You become a vibrational match. And it's interesting, before I got on this live, I was listening to my spiritual teacher, and he was just talking about the placebo effect, which is also talked about in the documentary The Secret, if you go watch it on Netflix. That 40 to 50% of people that take a sugar pill are healed from whatever they're told that pill is. Because the body will heal itself. Because the body will transform itself all from the mind. They think they're taking medicine that's going to heal them. 40 to 50% of people that take a sugar pill are healed for whatever disease was in their body. Okay? So lets you know how powerful the mind is. So because you've already been aligning with this pregnancy and this baby, your body is shifting to prepare. It is. And it's not just you. It's happening. Believe it. Okay? So Jamila said, I've been adding details to my businesses. Rachel said, yes, when I did visualization for my house, I see enough space for my garden. I see it growing beautifully. Okay, so Rachel, since she's bringing up the house, I want you to do the research of the house. Are you getting the house built? Are you going to find a house already built? If that's so, where do you want the house to be? Do you want it in a particular, do you want it on the outskirts? Do you want it on the beach? Where is that at? Okay. How many stories do you want it? What do you want the floor plan to look like? What kind of things do you want in the house? How do you want the driveway to look? And I'm giving you this detail because I'm building my house right now. I started it last night. So I know exactly what I want the driveway to be made out of. I know what kind of fountain I want in the front yard. I know what kind of staircase I want leading up to the doors. I want double front doors that are made of wood and cast iron handles. It has an overcover. It has benches on two sides. When you walk in, you have marble white floor, and then you have a mirror backsplash straight ahead. Then you have a porcelain white staircase that swivels up this way to go upstairs. To my left is my altar room, which is set up like a museum. That also has white marble floor, and then it goes straight into my meditation room. Do you hear how detailed it is? I know where I want the windows to be. I know how I want the statues set up. I want floor statues for all of my gods and goddesses in my altar room. And then I want small tables for my offerings, either beside it or in front of it. Just depends on how I want it. It's going to be kind of roped off like a museum, so you can walk through there like you would in a museum, right? In the meditation room, I want shaggy rugs. I know what colors that I want in there. I want floor pillows, lots of floor pillows. I want the speakers in there for the meditation music. Very, very, very detailed. The altar on the other side, when you go through the foyer, it will be the altar room, and then there's another kind of small hallway that leads you to the family room, then the library, and then the living room. And between the family room and the living room, I will have a double-sided fireplace and 2 double-sided fish tanks. I want these big cushion couches. I want wood floors with rug. You see, do you know how much time it takes me to spend thinking and looking at all of these details? And by the way, I also want wrought iron, what is it? The railing on the staircase. I want it made out of wrought iron. I found the chandelier that I want. I know what design I want in the black splash mirror. All the details. And I'm just in the front of the house. I haven't got to the in-laws quarter. I haven't even got to the backyard or the kitchen. I have it drawn, but I have to write the details out. Okay? Very, very detailed. Sybil says, blessings. My future home has a mother-in-law suite on the property and nursery because I love plants and flowers. Brittany says, I love it. Jamila says, the type of people I want to work for me and how to treat employees and customers. Yes. The things we're going to do as a team and how we'll work together, that is great. This is good stuff. Rachel said, yes, Jamila, for my business, I know what type of employees I want, how happy the customers are with the service they get. I see my employees being happy to work with me and content. Brittany says, I've been so uncomfortable, but I'm making it work. Yes, I wake up remembering my dreams, and I show so much gratitude because I feel the connection. Jamil said, Pinterest is good for saving ideas. The visuals are amazing. I have several for my nursery. Yes, I use Pinterest. This floor plan that I'm using, I started it off. I've had that floor plan since 2013, I think. And it was on my Pinterest. I started it about 2013, maybe it had to be 2012, 2013. And I'm tweaking it. It's not 100% going to be that, but that's where my idea started. No different than how I pieced the dress together. That's just how I am. I see the visual. So I know that when I communicate to the people that's building, I'm going to be able to tell them exactly what it is that I want and how I want them to put it together. So this is just the first floor. This is not the second story. This is not the basement. I have lots of more details, and then I'm going to continue, and I have big pieces of paper. I'm actually drawing this out. I'm not an artist at all, but I don't care. It's giving me a visual. I'm drawing it all out on paper, and I'm taping pieces of paper together so that it continues to grow bigger and bigger and bigger so that I can see my whole estate, right? So Tess says, Jamila says, I even wrote and altered spaces into the business. That's how it's supposed to be. Tess says, I clearly need to do this work. And Sybil says, is it okay that you have your vision board on your altar? Yeah. Jamila says, I want a tree house, legit grown up one, in an earth home. Hey, do it. Tess, I feel like I don't know what I want, but I don't want what I got. Okay, so when you start this process, that's the thing. When you're in a place where you don't know what you want, usually you don't even know what's available. So Tess, I know you want to move into a comfortable space. I don't know if you've been looking or what you want it to look like, but that's a good place to start. Start doing research. What's the possibilities? Don't think about what your money is now. Don't think about none of that. Just think of the possibilities. Where are the possible places that I can live? If you want to stay in the area that you're in, if you want to move to a new area, what are the possibilities? What are out there? Get on Google, start researching the possibilities. And then what happens is you start seeing things that exist that you didn't even know existed, right? There's types of chandeliers that exist that I didn't know existed. There's porcelain. I learned that porcelain floor lasts longer than marble floor. I learned that concrete lasts longer than any other form of driveway material. You have to kind of put yourself in a place where you're researching and just clicking and clicking. In the beginning of The Secret, Rhonda Byrne said that she became obsessed with The Secret, and she would click on one thing and it kept leading her. The rabbit hole. She kept leading her to one thing, to the next thing, and then she started to realize all these people that knew it. So kind of put yourself in that realm of what it is that is possible, right? So what's possible in terms of living space? Then start looking at that living space. I'm looking at all the possibilities. I didn't know this existed. Wow, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know this existed. I used to get architecture magazines because I'm obsessed with homes. So I think it's a cancer thing. I'm obsessed with living space. In the architecture magazines, that's when I started realizing certain things existed. That's why I understand what a butler's closet is, a maid closet. I understand certain terminology in building a home is just from me looking in magazines. And understanding decor. I look at decorations. So I started learning the terms. I started learning what that stuff meant, right? What does that look like? I understand, okay, what does an alfresco dining mean? That's outdoor dining. I also learned that from looking at vacation spaces, a 2-story patio. These are types of things that I didn't know existed until I just started looking at stuff. So putting yourself in a place that you're interested. So for you, Tess, I know that you're interested in plants, right? So you might just go on just looking at nurseries. How you might want to type in nurseries and living space combined. See what exists out there. How does it look to combine your home with nurseries of plants or a house full of plants? What does that look like? And what it does is it just gets you going, and then you're like, wow, this is what I want. Because now you know it exists, okay? So if you're in a place where you don't know what you want, start off with something that you're interested in, okay? You can always ask in prayer, hey, God, give me a clear vision of what it is that I want. Give me something that's best for me, something that's going to set me on fire, something that's going to make me passionate inside, something that I know I'm going to love, okay? And then allow yourself to be open to receiving that prayer. But just start somewhere and just explore. That's the beautiful thing and the blessing about having the internet. It gives you exposure to things even if you can't physically be there. It allows you to visually see what it is that during Einstein's time, they didn't have the internet, okay? They had to literally sit in meditation, which okay, sorry about the pause. They would sit in meditation and let the visuals come to them from the universe. So they would have to sit hours and allow the universe to show them the things that came about. So Tesla was the one that sat in meditation, and he saw the universe show him that energy and information can travel within the air. That's how he learned about electricity, broadcasting, all of that stuff. That was before we had, the internet, before you had the radio station and things like that. That came to him in a visual meditation. Now imagine getting that in a meditation and there's nothing physically around you that confirms that exists right now. No, it doesn't exist right now. You have to create it, right? So that's another beautiful thing too. You can always sit in meditation and create something that doesn't already exist. But for the things that exist now, just to get the creative juices going, just use the internet. Use magazines. That's what I used to use, magazines, architecture magazines. I found this beautiful floor plan for a home built into the side of a mountain. That's the second home that I would like. I still have a nice visual of that home. Like, I had it on my vision board, everything, like very, very beautiful home. Something I'm very interested into. And I've always said that once I retire from doing my work at some point in my life, I'm probably going to do interior designing. I'm not going to be an architecture, but I can give a vision of a design, home design and everything, because that's something that I love it. It's very interesting to me. I love it and enjoy it. So Rachel says, yes, I was looking at houses last night on Zillow and realized I want a tree house with a pool and a jacuzzi. And Jamila said, Grand Designs is an awesome show, y'all. They build houses grown from scratch with all kinds of materials and weird ideas. That was something very cool about the home that I saw that was built into the side of a mountain. Because what they did, it was built here in North Carolina on the Appalachian Mountains. And what they did was all the materials that they cut, all the trees and stuff they cut, they used to build the home. So it was this beautiful like wood panel going down the hallway when you first enter. And that was from the trees. And then they actually had a tree that they built around through the middle of the house. Oh, it was just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Jamal says, Tree House Masters for Tree House. Tess says, thank you. Yes, Earth Home is also. So I know I'm talking about homes and stuff like that, but there's other things out there, in terms of the business. So you're thinking about the employees, okay? What type of employees do you need? What is the salaries that you want? What is the average salaries, national salaries for that? Okay. Well, if you go look up the national salaries and you're saying, hey, I want to provide a higher salary, then go ahead and set, okay, this is the salary I want to provide. What kind of benefits plans do I want to provide? What is available? I want to provide my employees with this kind of benefits plan, so that they're able to do whatever, right? Like you say, you do, what is it? You do, what is the word I'm trying to look for? Development, career development. So you do career development stuff. You do retreats together. You show all of that. You build it into the structure of how does a day look like? What does the office look like? Is it structured office? Do people get to work from home if they want to, or come into an office? Is it brick and mortar? Is the office set up like a tree house? Is there plants everywhere in the office? Is there a place for if they have children? Do you provide childcare for them? Just it's so much that you can grow. And the more clear you are about it, the more of a vibrational match you become to it. Okay. Now this floor plan that I've been using for a while, that I've been visualizing, when I manifested my truck, I used to visualize myself driving my truck to this house. But all I would see is me I saw the details of the truck, and I saw the details of me pulling in the garage and getting out and walking to the door. But I never got past the garage door in my visualization. I was obsessed with the truck, and I manifested the truck. Now, my vision board, this truck is the same year, everything is blue, but in my meditation, I made the truck silver. And the biggest thing for me is I wanted a space for my purse. And there's space for my purse. It's a big old arm spot, and my purse can go there. So that's just what I wanted. That's what got me energetically charged. I think I manifested that truck. I feel like I manifested that truck in like a month. Yeah, I think it happened in like a month. It didn't take long. And I figured out I liked the truck because we had a rental car. We had a rental truck, and I'm like, I like this truck. I didn't know I would have liked the truck until I rented it. So I get what Tess is saying when you don't kind of know what you want. that's a part of the process when I do my create in 365 days. When I start in the fall, the first 45 days is called planning, because that's the time you're trying to figure out what it is that you want. You write it down and you start visualizing. You might say, hey, that's not quite what I want. But then you get exposed to different things, and then you realize that you want something else. So relationships, the same thing. You can visualize the details of that. They talk about that in The Secret. The guy that was an artist, he kept drawing women whose heads was turned or they stuck up. So then she said, start drawing pictures of you with women in a romantic way that show that they love you. Okay. I gifted myself last year a portrait of a black man and woman putting crowns on each other's head. And that's in my bedroom. I have some more portraits where you see hand holding, different ways that people hold hands. Y'all might have seen some of it in my lives when I do it in the other room. And it says love. I started visually putting what I wanted in a relationship around me, so I could also be subconsciously picking up on it, right? Because that's part of the manifestation process. So along with the meditation, you can do other things. This is why, have y'all ever seen on movies when a big business guy is about to build a whole new building and they have like a miniature version of what the building is like? That's like a really good tool to use. You know, not everybody has access to get it, but it's a very good tool to use in manifestation. Drawing out the vision. To build that, you have to get into the details of what it looks like. You can't just say, oh, I want a big building. Okay, what do you want? You know, how do we build this? What does that look like? The details. Okay. I know that Tierra, LaChancy, I know y'all are doing event planning. So the details of that's something else that I have too stored. I did event planning, but I primarily want to do event rental. I want to do luxury event rental so that you can rent luxury types of furniture for your events. You know, high-end couches, high-end bars, just stuff like that, because it's not here. It's very common in South Florida and in California and New York, but it's nowhere else, not even in Atlanta. So that is something else that I want to do. That's pinned back here, which I'll get to. So just the details of event planning. What does that look like? What is the most beautiful thing you want to put together? How do you want things to run? What type of customers do you want? Do you want things to be electronic? You know, or do you want it to be physical? Do you have tablets when y'all go in there and y'all have a visual on the tablet of what the layout of the room is going to be like? Just all those details. That's another thing too, which I know the universe is abundant. I know some people are like, oh, keep your ideas to yourself, someone's gonna steal it. Nobody has the vision that I have. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of places that sell burgers. There's a whole bunch of companies that make bread, and everybody does it their own way, and they're all in business. So that's just how I feel about it. I'm not in that competitive mindset. I'm not in that stealing my idea mindset. But I do want to come up with an app for event planners so that they can be on the same accord. In the app, they'll be able to take a picture of the event space, and they'll be able to place furniture and look at how different designs of setting the tables, setting centerpieces, how they can set it up. And then when they go in to decorate, instead of constantly having to communicate, we all have the same plan on our tablet and we can make the plan happen. Keep everybody on one accord. So that would be sold to event planners, right? So you said your aunt does that. Okay. Yes, I'll let you know, Tierra. I have a lot of stuff. Like, I have a book on how to do it. I have contracts that I already wrote up, the types of insurance that I need for that type of business, the kind of warehouse space I would need, the kind of trucks I would need. I didn't have the vendors to buy furniture from. But guess what? I'm in the furniture capital of the world. Right here next to High Point, North Carolina. There's people that travel from China all over the world that come here during the fall and buy furniture and take it back. So I didn't get to that part yet, but I'm right here in the hub of it. So the good thing is it won't be hard to find different things like that or talk to those types of vendors. And it's not a lot of city space here. So I know it's not hard to find warehouse space. I know it's not hard to find things like that. But yeah, just all those details. And it feels good to be back in this space, because I was in this space before, and life happens and you forget. And then you forget to go back. So I want to be in this space. Before I manifested coming into this house that I live in now, I spent a lot of time in meditation. It wasn't this house per se, but I was visualizing myself in a mansion, the details, the help that I had. So this is closer and closer and closer to it, right? Closer and closer to it. I would have never imagined to be in a 2-story home, 2,200 square feet. I was looking at a ranch style home, the first home I was looking at. So it happens, and it lined up. Many of you know the story about how this house lined up, and that's how it happens. It will line up. I am not in your head on purpose, Jamila. But Tess says, I've always wanted to run a healing farm, rehabilitation type space. I think I always put it on the back burner in my life because I feel so far away, but I'm going to start planning it. Yes, that sounds beautiful. A healing farm. This is what I was saying about, we are an extension of the universal energy. You know, we don't really truly understand how powerful we are. That idea right there does not exist in the world, but Tess is the one that can bring it to the world. And not only does she get to get enjoyment from it, but the world gets to get enjoyment from it. And that was just the idea. A car was an idea at once. A laptop was an idea at once. A desk, a shelf for books, carpet. All these things was once an idea. But when you allow yourself to manifest these things, you allow yourself to expand, and then allow the God energy to expand. You allow God to expand through you. Is an extension of the God energy, also known as the inner being, as what Abraham Hicks calls it. It's the inner being. It is the expansion of that. So when we allow ourselves to manifest the things, we allow the universe to expand. Okay, the universe, the things in the world don't exist without the mind. So as humans with the mind, it allows us to expand and create things in the world. None of the things around us exist without us. Okay, so that's why you are born worthy. That's why you are chosen. That's why you're magnificent exactly the way you are. That's why you're a great being. That's why it's just a beautiful thing, because you are a vessel to be an expansion of the God energy. Okay, so I watched The Secret last night, and my favorite quote, I had it up on the wall in my mirror in my apartment, and I wrote it down to put it up again. It says, when the vision is so profound and so clear and so loud on the inside, that the opinions on the outside doesn't matter, you have mastered life. So get in the vision. It don't matter what other people think. It don't matter what other people's opinions are. It don't matter. That is an amazing idea. A healing farm with rehabilitation spaces. Oh, that is amazing. That's an amazing idea. Like, I'm all for rehabilitation. I'm all for that healing, especially on an emotional level. You know, that's why I'm also making a physical space called Infinity Retreats. And I want to help those that really need the help. Now, I'm not going to be closed off to anybody else that wants to come, but I primarily want to be a transition home for incarcerated men, particularly minority men, but I'm going to take I'm taking everybody. I ain't going to tell nobody no to, I ain't going to say no to your healing process, but, it's just certain things that, minorities haven't had access to or don't even know exist. So I want that to be a primary focus, but I'm open to everybody. So Tia says the rentals, so I can ask her for some of the companies she purchased from. Okay, that's cool. So that's something that you want, right? Sybil says, there you go, Tess, your dream and desire. Jamila said, oh, word, you got my wheels turning, lady. Yes, the house and the daycare, the details. What does the daycare look like? Okay. What kind of facilities and space do you want for the children? Do you want, how does it look for a baby to go through tummy time? What is that experience? Not just basic tummy time, but some really good tummy time. What does that tummy time space look like? What does the space and details look like? And the thing is about this is don't let how it's going to happen come in your mind. Just let your brain go. Let your mind go and make it as big as you want it to be. Like when I was putting my floor plan to my house together, the logic wanted to tell me, okay, if you're going to put the fireplace downstairs here, you got to make sure the fireplace in your room lines up with the same chute. No, I don't. I want the fireplace on this wall downstairs, and I want the fireplace on this wall over here, and we're going to figure out how it works. Okay, if I'm the first person that invents it, then I'm the first person that invents it. And a lot of times, a lot of things on homes are invented from people's visions. I was watching this show years ago where this guy wanted his home to turn and move so that a certain room had the sunlight all day long. Nothing had been done like that, but that was his vision. And they had to do it over and over and over and over again until they got it right. And when they got it right, they engineered it and they fixed it. And guess what? There was people out there that was so excited because it was something different. They got to get challenged in their work. The engineers were excited, like, yes, they needed a challenge. I saw a guy that wanted to have his pool so that when he's in the basement, you can see into the pool and see people swimming. So if you swim down, you can see them in the basement. It was kind of connected to his theater room. Well, they had that pool broke at least, I think, at least 5 times before they found the right material to support the water so that it wouldn't bust open. But they figured it out and they invented it. Now somebody invented it. Now somebody else in the world can experience. Not only did he manifest his dream, somebody in the world can experience it, right? So with the daycare, with the house, let your mind go into the vision. Let your mind stretch, okay? Don't try to figure out, okay, this is the mechanicals. Just how do you want it to look? And just have that. Jamila said, I'm looking forward to attending your healing farm. Yes. Tess says, I appreciate this community so much. It makes my life feel so much more manageable. We appreciate you too. That's why I want to share these resources with you. It's not hard to manifest. It doesn't cost you money. I'm literally using paper and a pencil right now to draw the house plan in my vision. And I see it so clearly in my head. Like I see the driveway. Now I have to I see part of the driveway. I got to build the beginning of the driveway. What does the gate look like? But I have to build the rest of that state. So until I get that, then I won't see it. Because in my meditation, I only see pieces. I want it to be fluid. In my meditation, I want to be able to get out of the garage, go through the door. What does that look like? What does it look like walking up? I know there's a breezeway from the main house into the in-law suite. I have a whole in-law suite that I'm building on the right side of the home. And then I built the whole pool area last night because I knew I wanted a pool, but I wasn't clear. So Pinterest. I start typing in Pinterest pool ideas, large pools, and I start taking pieces like I did my prom dress and piecing it together. Oh, I want an island with a bridge, and there's a waterfall that comes down the bridge. I want a water slide that also has rocks next to it that has waterfall coming off of that. I want it's called a beach entrance that goes to the pool. So it gradually goes from how it is at the beach. It's shallow and it gets deeper. And I want that to be the kiddie area. If you've ever been to a resort, they have kids, shallow water for the kids to play. So I want that to be a beach entrance / the kid pool area so we don't have to worry about the kids drowning. They can play right there and then they can get access to the island. The island has tropical trees and things like that. We also have bar stools in the pool where you can swim up to the bar. The bar is down low. It's a kitchen and a bar. It has TVs in there so you can get something from the bar. You can watch TV. There's a fridge so you can have some snacks or whatever like that. There's a raised area over here that's a lounge. There's a whole circular lounge seating area that has a fire pit. So when we're chilling at the fire pit, when it's the fall, I still have access to the bar. It's right here. Then over here, I have the grill and smoke station where you grill the food. That's raised up over in that corner. So we have a full bricked in grill, smoker, because I love smoked food, and there's also an area for a TV, and it's another lounge area that goes into a raised al fresco dining area that has a long dining table so that when the family is together, we are all sitting at one table. Then there's a lowered right before it, which is right next to the pool, al fresco dining, where it's just multiple seats where you can just sit. Also, I have lounge chairs right before you go into the beach entrance pool, and then I have lounge chairs that are in the pool. The ones that are made into the pool so that you can lay in a lounge chair and have water on you. Okay? Very detailed. Okay? Very, 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 very detailed. all of those details. Now I knew I wanted a pool, but I didn't know that. Now I'm able to verbalize that to you. And when I verbalize it to you, y'all can follow exactly what I'm saying. So guess what you think the universe can do? Give me exactly what it is that I want, because like attracts like. You get what I'm saying? So you want like to attract like. You want to be very clear about your vision. You want to be very clear about what it is that you want to manifest. What does that look like? What does it look like? Okay. Also, just be mindful of the things around you. You know what I mean? What kind of music are you listening to? Are you listening to music of people talking about they broke? Are you listening to people talking about they're prosperous? Are you listening to people talk about they heartbroken? Are you listening to people talk about how in love they are? Are you listening to people? What are you listening to? That's also another way that you can work on shifting your consciousness. Like when I was working on a relationship, I stopped listening to anything that spoke down or degrading on relationships. For example, I love the artist Her. I like her music, and I like how I can relate to some of her music, but in reality, it relates to the pain of a relationship. I can't listen to it. I respect her, but I can't listen to it. That's not in what I want to manifest in the area that I'm going. It's this artist named Black Party that I found, and he talks very highly of women, very highly of how he wants, to date a woman. Just that was the energy that I was on, so that's what I was listening to. What are you listening to? Another thing is when I see luxury around me, I honor him. Like, oh, I'm surrounded by prosperous people. Look at this luxurious car that just drove past me. Just honoring what you see. One of the things that I learned this is the Millionaire Mind Intensive years ago. T. Harv Eker said, if you find a penny on the ground, you should be thankful to the universe. Like, thank you for this penny, because you're showing your appreciation. You're showing that, hey, the universe is abundant. Whether it's a penny, whether it's $200, whatever it is, it's still money. And it made you more prosperous than what you were before you found it, right? So, I don't like the people that just, they drop a penny and they just disrespect the money. It's just pennies. No, it's money. I value all of it. It adds to my prosperity. And one penny can make or break you from being a thousandaire or a millionaire. It's very valuable. Very, very valuable. So you give thanks, praise, and honors for all the little things you found. Yesterday, I wanted snacks. There wasn't snacks in the house I wanted to eat. I said, I want some cookies. Amir, is there cookies? No, there's no cookies. Like, you know what? I want some snacks. I just left it, but I was in my creative mode of building my house. Somebody rings my doorbell. It's the Girl Scout cookies girl. She's like, hi, I got Girl Scout cookies. I was like, oh my God, this stuff really is amazing. It keeps showing me over and over that it works. So my snacks came to my door. Thank you. I bought $20 worth of Girl Scout cookies, and I had a good evening. So the vibrational match is all about you being a vibrational match. Even if you're just always feeling good. You may have thought something little like I want a snack, and you manifest it really quickly. You know what I mean? Even though you're focusing on creating your baby or your business or your house or whatever it is that you're creating, you're in a creative vibrational energy. You're in a high vibration. So you're going to attract that which you desire. You are a magnet. See yourself as a magnetic tower. So as you think about it, as you be about it, it comes to you. Okay? It comes to you. I know I'm talking a lot. Let me see what y'all are saying. So Jamila says, I also want affordable daycares. And if a parent is having a hard month, they can offer a service instead of paying cash. That sounds very similar to Toya's vision. Toya told me that she wanted to be able to help, particularly teen moms. Tess said, me too. I've worked with people for over 12 years. A lot who are enriched in addiction and chronic homelessness and incarceration. There needs to be a different model for healing for folks such in a systematic cycle of hell. They deserve healing and to learn skills. I agree. It's kind of like they have these programs out there with grants here and there to kind of say they're working on it. Oh, we got work first. We teach you working skills and get you out there. Yeah, but some of these people don't even understand why it's important to go to work. They don't understand how work works. They don't understand it. They get into an environment and it's weird. They never even been in a work environment. They never had been in a place where they were made to be somewhere at a certain time and and had to stay and be told what to do. They might not even finish school to be able to be structured. There's a lot of other stuff that happens before that. And a lot of times I think they try to put band-aids on those people that deal with addiction and incarceration and don't really get to the real deal of it. Oh, hello. Hi, Shalana. So, Jamila said your pool's going to be salt water, not chlorine. That's nice. Sybil said the other day I saw a mansion online and it had a theater. I said I want a theater in my house. Then I saw the kids watching TV, running around the room, playing, trying to decide where they are. Going to sis and have popcorn, their very own space. They watched movies. They were loud. They had fun. Yes, details. Now you got to put that whole house together. So you see in pieces, but you got to get clear. Put the whole house together. You got the theater. What else does the rest of the house look like? And if you want to keep using the visual of the kids, how do the kids move through the house? Is there stairs? Is the house in the is the theater in the basement? Is it on the first floor? Put the rest of the house together. Okay. Do I have a manifestation playlist? I have different kinds of playlists on Apple Music. Like I have a love playlist. I have a faith playlist. But I don't know if I have an actual manifestation playlist. But that's a good idea. I might look into that. Let me write that down. I got a piece of paper I've been writing stuff down on. Oh, got sticky notes. But I also think with manifestation, like I have a money playlist. But I feel like with manifestation, I guess because I didn't think of it, as everybody wants to manifest something kind of different. So I'll have to make it very, very generic. Because sometimes I would like to listen to certain songs that are very specific to what I'm working on manifesting. Some people don't have basic life skills like how to cook food or be in a community at all. You're right. They don't. They don't know how to be considerate of a living space or having to share space with others. They don't understand that, you know, they can't just leave trash. Like, for example, there may be some people that have been incarcerated since they were children, since they was teenagers. So they went from somebody taking care of them to a system that took care of them. Somebody that made sure the jails always have lights. They always have food. So like you said, they don't know how to cook. They don't even know that they have to do something to keep the lights on. They don't know that they have to make money to keep the gas going. All those things have always been provided to them. So yeah, they might be a 30-year-old person and you're thinking you should know this, but they've never been through a life's experience to teach them that, right? So it's a lot of things that can assist people. It's a lot of different modalities that can be very helpful for those people to teach them certain skills. But the thing that I know I specifically want to teach those that are transitioning is how to use the law of vibration, the law of attraction. How do you manifest what it is that you want? How do you do that? How do you do meditation? How do you see yourself doing these things? That is very, to me, is the bread and butter, right? How do you get into the belief of it? And then use some of the tools that we had to learn. Understanding, you know, how to work with, you know, your gremlins. How to deal with shame. We went through Brené Brown's book. Going through Brené Brown. Understanding shame. How to become shame resilient. Along with me doing those things, I would definitely like to have licensed psychiatrists and psychologists on staff in case anybody has anxiety, depression, PTSD, and stuff like that. But along with that, to support them with the life coach, because I'm a life coach, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, to support them in that. Also teach them, you know, about prayer. Teach them about the miracle prayer, the spirituality of things. That's what I do. But I want to provide that emotional support, and I want to create it on my estate. So, yes. The Hood Botanica has one on Spotify called Money Manifestation. Okay. Yeah, I have a money manifestation that I made for Bossy on Apple Music and on Spotify. I think it's called Bruja. Money Bruja. I don't remember. Let me go look. Because I got over 100 playlists on Spotify alone. Let me see. Where's my playlist? Billionaire Bruja. That's what it's called. Billionaire Bruja. So Tess says, yes, I love that you've broken them down into categories. I always love your music choices. Oh, thank you. Sybil says, space medicine and treatment for their mental health. Then after that process, we provide them with housing, employment, with government funding. Right. They got to be stable person before they go out into the world. You're trying to stick somebody unstable out there. Like, hey, boom. Like they need, there's some stuff. And I was listening to Kevin Gates yesterday. I'm becoming a fan of Kevin Gates thanks to my man who put me onto him. Him and his wife are gonna start going into the jails and start showing the men how to do breath work. Because he said he's been in and out of you know, prison, not jails, prison, excuse me. It's a difference. In and out of prison since he was 13 years old. So he wants to go and have a program where they show him how to do healing through the breath and do breath work. So I'm like, that's awesome. So you have somebody that's taking care of in the prison system, and then I have the transitional outside of it, and then, you know, somebody else may have the next steps after that. But like Tess says, a community, that is a community. Whether we know each other or not, we have community programs that set up, and we get to a point where we can work together to be a nice cycle. You start them there, then transition them here, and then move them there. So, Silver said, I love working with them and watching them grow and live with the community and learn basic skills, basic living and coping skills. I have a millionaire manifestations on your YouTube list. Oh, that's cool. So you love Kevin Gates too? Yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah, they do be offended when you get them mixed up, Jamila. It's a big difference between jail and prison. I was confused. I didn't offended. You offended because I got them mixed up, but it's a big difference. There's a difference between jail and prison. And only people that haven't been don't get it right. So, but, you know, that's just us talking about some of our dreams, talking about how we can manifest it, some of the ways that you can do it. There is lots of government funding out there. I actually follow this guy on YouTube, this old man that lives in DC, and he's for years found government funding for everything, and he just tells us how to find it now. Get government funding for this and that and this, and he tells you the key is it's only legit if it ends in a .org or .gov. He said those .coms are usually going to charge you. He said nobody should charge you for any grants. He said you don't even need to get grant writers. You call a senator's office, libraries, and just find programs. There's programs that will do grant writing for you for free. And I'm like, wow. So you'll be surprised. I learned a lot of little stuff from him, calling the senator's office and asking them questions. They call you back at everything, and they'd be happy to help. I'm like, this is good. So as I'm talking to y'all, I'm realizing why I'm learning this, because I've just been so intrigued by it. And now I'm understanding why I'm learning these skills. I need to learn these skills because I'm going to need it to support my transition to homes. Yeah. Jail. Prison is with the killers, and now jail is when the drunks and the druggies are at the station. You're silly. The difference. Okay, jail is like if they pick you up and they take you downtown to the jail. Prison is once you've been like sentenced and you doing a sentence of time. It's real hardcore. It's like jail is just, yeah, you know, the judge might say, hey, spend a weekend in jail for a speeding ticket. That's jail. Prison, you there for a while. And it like she said, the real killers and all of them are there. It's that. Has anyone heard Ariana Grande's song Like Magic? I haven't. I don't listen to a lot of her music. Not to say anything's wrong with her. It's just I haven't been drawn to it yet. I'm very I have to be attracted and drawn to new artists in a way. It's kind of like a magical thing that happens. And then we have like a music relationship. Shalana said, "Oh, I don't want neither." No, I don't want neither of them either. So, I'm about to post yesterday's video on YouTube, and I'm gonna try to post this on YouTube today too, so y'all can go back and listen to it. Because it's good stuff. You know, Spirit is dropping good stuff through me. I've been learning stuff too at the same time as y'all learning stuff, but get into the creative process. So all that time that y'all be worried and thinking about other stuff and watching drama and on Instagram, those of you Instagram scrollers, I've spent less time doing any of that stuff because I've been focused on researching and building my house. And Bob Proctor says you build your desires 2 times. First you build it here, and then you build it in the physical. So I'm building it here right now by doing my research, looking at things. You know, even if you can't buy a magazine, when you go to the store, you better flip through the magazine and see what you had. Like, get your phone out and take some pictures so you have a visual until you can get to the point. I'm telling you, this stuff is free. It's free. Or if you're on Google, get on Google, okay? And type in luxury homes, or type in daycares, different luxury daycares, or, you know, whatever you got to type in. to see some different ideas for daycares or ideas for farms. Even if it doesn't exist, well, if something don't exist, I go and look for many things and I piece it together. So for like a farm, I might say, hey, I like how this farm looks, you know, so I want to take this idea of this farm, and then I like this rehabilitation center, and I can shift it like this, and I actually can make it kind of like a greenhouse, treehouse mixture thing. I like this treehouse. You can mix it in your mind. Just take the different aspects of it and have the visual and put it together. I promise you, once you start looking at stuff, your mind will put it together. You might think you can't visualize something that don't exist. You will. You will definitely be able to visualize something that exists. Like, I think it's pretty cool that they have farm to table for cannabis in California. It's only one place that I know that does it. They grow the stuff there, and then they use it when they feed you when you come stay there for the bed and breakfast. And I was just like, oh, wow. Nobody else has thought of nothing like that. That's pretty cool. So to hear kind of like a farming rehabilitation center, that's pretty awesome too. Like, there's so many things. You said anything over 365 days is prison. I've heard some people say they've done 8 months or so in prison before. Jamila said you unfollowed the drama pages. That's good, because I had to too. I don't want that. Tess says, I love this convo. Thank you all. Gotta take my dog out. Hope you have a wonderful day. You too. You too. Hey, Koi. Peace, Kiana. I know this is off topic, but would you mind expounding upon why marijuana isn't the best plant to smoke? I remember Master Gibson explaining that it's not of this realm, but he didn't explain. So what happens is it just limits your consciousness from expanding. That's my understanding of it when it comes to marijuana. So yes, it has a lot of good modalities with the CBD in terms of helping with pain, in terms of relaxing yourself. For some people, it can actually make them more paranoid, which can cause anxiety. But when your consciousness needs to expand, it hinders the expansion. It hinders you getting into the enlightenment phase. So that's the problem with it, is that it stops your consciousness from expanding to a certain place. And the thing is enlightenment is a totally different place I've heard of. My Master Gibson and his wife are the only two people I know that are in the enlightenment consciousness. I don't know anybody else, because it's not an easy place to get into. But for those of you that want to expand your consciousness, for those of you that want to expand in that, then that's, you all have free will, and you all get to choose the way you want to choose. I don't have no judgment. But I know that I stopped partaking because I know for a fact that I want to reach enlightenment. I don't want to keep reincarnating. I don't want to keep forgetting and starting over. I want to expand my soul. I want to become a light being in its full effects, in full throttle. And that's a decision I made for myself. So that's why I decided engaging in any form of it. CBD, any form of the plant. Any form of the plant. So I do sell detox tea, but I don't drink the CBD tea. I drink the herbal tea that doesn't have CBD in it. But, everybody has their own reasons for things. So I don't, like I said, I don't judge you. These are just decisions that I've made, and I speak about, I educate you based off my experiences, based off of what my spiritual teacher tells me. And I take advice from people who are living a life that I would like to live. He's living a life that I would like to live. He actually doesn't live far from me. He's in Summerfield, North Carolina, which is north of Greensboro. It's like maybe 20 minutes. When I was in my apartment, I was right next to Summerfield. But he has a Maserati. He has a luxurious home and space, and very loving family and wife, and travels the way he wants to travel, buy what he wants to buy. Like, he's living a life and it's not fake. I've been into his meditation room. I've been to his center. When first time I stepped into that meditation room, I know my heart chakra went through a healing just from standing in there. I felt I almost was in tears. How I felt when I went in there, the energy that was there, it was amazing, amazing energy. So, yeah. Let me go back to what you're saying. Yeah. When I was in prison, some girls were there for 90 days. Okay, so yeah, I don't think it's, Or it might just depend. You know what I'm saying? I think each state might be different. Because I know Toya's in Florida and Koi's in New York. It's state prison, you know, it's usually state ran. So it's probably different rules for each state. Brittany says, help me, Lord, rid myself of marijuana. It says, look, Koi, a hardcore gangster. Oh, yeah, I mentioned the same thing to you, Koi. Okay. Yes, they may do less than 365, but they was sentenced to 365. Oh, okay. I don't know. Brittany says, help me. I need help because it's around me, so I'm triggered. You got to change your environment. You change your environment by changing your thoughts and your mind. That's just how it goes. It was around me too when I stopped. When I was in my last marriage, I stopped, but my husband kept going. So, but it's just a decision that I had to make. You know what I mean? And I had to find other ways to. You have to find a replacement. So you got to find other ways to deal with stress. When I stopped drinking alcohol, because I was an alcoholic at a point too, when I stopped for health reasons. I didn't even stop for the spiritual. I stopped for health reasons because I was like, I don't want to deteriorate my liver. I want to take care of my body. I had changed my eating. I was doing a lot of stuff. I was detoxing. And I started realizing the stuff that I wasn't dealing with. Because I was like, oh, okay, I got to deal with this emotional stuff. Where's Louise Hay's book? Where I had to start getting the tools, the stuff that I was studying and using those tools to deal with the stuff that was coming up. So yeah, meditation might be a good replacement. I don't know, chewing gum. You find something to help you transition. I'm a cold turkey person. Once I decide I'm going to do something, that's it. I have strong whys and I stick with it. So yeah, that's just me though. That's just me. But I appreciate all of y'all being here. I know there's a lot of people been in and out, and this conversation is flow from one topic to the next. Ooh. But I appreciate all of y'all being here. Get into the creative process. Continue to manifest your dreams. If you're not clear about it, go start doing research. Start just looking at stuff. For me, like, I like to travel, so I know about a lot of travel places just because I get online and look at places to travel. Instagram, I love it. Oh, I find some of the most beautiful homes. I find some of the most beautiful kitchens. Just different spaces for travel, for homes and stuff. And that's how I find out it exists. I found out that these cool cars exist because I follow these pages on Instagram. Like I said before that, I used to look at architecture magazines and things like that, and to expand my consciousness of what I know exists out there. So this is what I know exists. It's like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure, like, how I'm designing this home, I have an idea of what I want it to be right now. But when I go to the expert, they might say, hey, I have a bigger idea. Like, hey, there's a newer thing and it does this, it's better. And I'm open to that, you know. I have a whole idea of how I want the heated drawers so my plates are warm when you take them out and you put food on it. I want a chef's kitchen. Oh, it's the real deal, okay? The real deal. I didn't know that the heated drawers existed until I saw it on a show. And they had heated drawers. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. I want that. That is a really cool concept. And I have a beautiful vision for my bathroom. It's going to be his and her, but it's going to be connected in the middle with a big bathtub. So it's going to be a his interest and a her interest, but when you get inside, it's connected down the center. I don't know if I'm saying it how I see it, but yeah, it's going to be really cool. Really, really cool. I'm glad you was able to join us today too, Shalana. But yes, get into the creative process. What is it desire? If you desire family, what kind of things you do with your family? What does your family do together? Do y'all dress alike on Christmas? Do y'all dress alike on a regular basis? Do you take vacation together? Do you have game night as a family? Do you travel? What are the details? What kind of places you travel to? What kind of dress alike do you do? Professional photo shoots? Like, get into the details of that. Get into the details of details. Like I said, if it's a business, get into the details. Every detail. The more clear you are, the quicker you can also manifest it. So be very clear. Be very, very clear. Okay? Jimmy said, yes, I was so hyped when I saw it in the actual house kitchen. I bet. I want a chef's kitchen because I'm going to have chefs. And I need them to be able to cook the way they are comfortable. We're going to have ventilation for it, everything. I want them to come in there and they be in chef heaven. Whether I know what it is or use it, I want them to know everything that they need. I want them to come in there and be like, yes, I like working at Infinity Estates. I like it here. They have everything I need. I can function well. They treat me good. I like coming and cooking for them. So yeah, very detailed, very, very detailed. So yes, y'all have a beautiful day, an amazing day. Today's a good day. Each day gets better and better. Okay? This will be on YouTube tonight or tomorrow. But it's going to be on YouTube. All right? Go back and watch it. Follow me on YouTube, Kenyatta Auset.